Considered one of the most influential contemporary American artists, Carrie Mae Weems has sustained an ongoing dialogue within contemporary discourse for over 35 years. For Artes Mundi 9, she presents the work at both the National Museum Cardiff and Chapter Art Centre. The Push, the Call, the Scream, the Dream. This is a new multi-image work created following the death of civil rights activist and US Congressman John Lewis in July 2020 against the context of the global movement of Black Lives Matter. Again, this work focuses on moments of intimacy, mourning, humanity, and consequence. Weems uses and reframes selected images from her own past works alongside archival images. The installation as a whole represents the life and the loss of a spokesperson for the Black community. John Lewis was an activist consistently on the front line, even when that resulting in his skull being cracked by a state trooper. He was the last surviving speaker from the March on Washington, where Martin Luther King made his I Have a Dream speech. Reading left to right, the first image sets the tone for the work overall, a moment between anguish and power. Originally created as part of a series by Weems titled Slow Fade to Black, it highlights the perspective and experience of being both Black and a woman, a reoccurring theme. The diffused image sees Mahalia Jackson, an American gospel singer widely considered one of the most influential vocalists of the 20th century, powerfully crying out, and just beneath is presented a crisp black and white image of microphones on a lectern. Framed together, these works are an invitation and a reminder to find our voices. They are there to be heard. The title is seen as embodied and represented with images of speaking and listening, protest and movement, silence and noise. Moving from left to right, we see the collectivisms of the civil rights movement next to moments of stillness, mourning and separateness, juxtaposed with looting, giving us moments of reflection. It culminates with a single image which encompasses all aspects of the title: the push, the call, the scream, the dream. This piece has particular resonance here in the National Museum Cardiff when the streets surrounding this building were marched on by the Black Lives Matter protesters in the summer of 2020, as well as throughout our collective history. Here we have seen the city centre used as a stage for activist campaigning for the Cardiff 3 in the 1990s, or more recently in the ongoing Justice for Mahmoud Hassan campaign. This work is pertinent and timely, whether it be across the waters, decades and generations. It provokes and encompasses the journey to equality and liberation. Now moving across the city, we see some of Weems's most recent work, a selection of pieces from an ongoing public art campaign. Displayed on the lightbox at Chapter, this work was created as part of the Resist COVID Take 6, developed by Weems as part of her artist-driven public awareness community work, Social Studies 101. The project was originally shown across America using billboards, alternative messages, and various ephemera to enlighten and educate Black, Brown, and Native American communities on the impact of COVID-19. Shown here in Cardiff, it is both a message and an outstretched hand from Weems to Black and Brown communities here in Wales and across the UK. Inside Chapter, in what is recognisable as the most social space within the building, Weems has a second of the large-scale billboard images, as well as a series of posters from the Resist COVID Take 6 campaign, which are free to visitors to take home. Collectively, these works act as public information and carry a message of thanks and hope.